FL Studio Producer tries the new Ableton. Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. I need you guys to smash that like button. We got Ableton 12.1. I could not figure out how these other guys were getting these plugins. Nobody really explained it. So let me do this first before we start making a beat. If you guys struggle like me, go to the All tab where it says Library. Here's where Auto Shift you should find it here once you update to 12.1. Also, to find the sequencers update, go to Packs and go to like where it says like additional or whatever. Here it is, updates, and whatever available packs or updates, one of those tabs, and then look for where it says sequencers and download that. Okay, for the longest time, nobody was making sense of how to do this stuff. All right, so what we're gonna do is just grab the sequencer from here and just drag it straight into your channel rack, whatever this is called. And what we're gonna do is use this to trigger stuff in the drum rack. So now we need to load a drum rack. Go to your where's it at here, instruments, and let's go to drum rack, drag that down. So your screen should look like mine, where you have a rhythm thing and then a drum rack. Nobody made that very clear. Okay, so now let's find some drums to even put in the drum rack, and I'll show you guys some techniques that I'm starting to use for my audio in Ableton to make it sound even doper. So let's find some drums. So the drums are going to come from my hard drive, but I do have some folders which are marked so that we save some time. Let's go for more trap drums here. I don't think I have there's like one kick I use. Let me find it. My go-to kit. One kick, here we go. So let's can't speak. Let's drag the kick in. Now we're gonna add our laser hi-hat in here. Let's put that on lane there. And we need a clap. Let's add that in, and then a hi-hat. Wait, kick, hi-hat, snare. Yeah, we need a hi-hat. Where's our hi-hat? Boom, right here. Okay, so now we have all the elements. You guys have to like sift through your drums to find what you want. Now we're gonna use this rhythmic step thing to trigger the drum rack. So basically this grid here corresponds to the grid on the drum rack. So the bottom left icon here will turn yellow, or you can left click and put it wherever you want. But basically we're gonna put this one in the bottom left and just click all the ones at the bottom. So it's bottom left, bottom second to left, bottom middle right, and then bottom far right. That's how I have mine set up. So it will trigger each one of these things. Now let's turn on our metronome. Let's go to like 130. Let's start at 140. Let's do like a FL type approach. Can you type in here? 140. All right, let's do 140. Let's save and let's get started. So this is a chant. This is different than FL because this works on chance. I don't understand the chance parameter just yet. I guess it's a chance that it will strike the sample. We're not going to take chances here. We're just going to turn this all the way up to 100%. And for the hi-hat, we're going to go all the way through. Now, I don't know who developed this, but it'd be dope to just kind of copy FL Studio. Right click, fill each 2 steps. Also, this slider is not a quick workflow at all, but I understand you can't ask for everything. Okay, so let's click every other one. See how tedious it is to undo it? It's super tedious, but all right, so it kind of just loops with the metronome. And so we can set this to 2 bars. I don't even know where the other panel would be though. That's the only thing. So yeah, that's a little confusing. Like how do you get to the second panel? I have no idea. So we're just gonna keep this simple. Let's just add a snare in here, which is, and again, the one thing I wish was different was the grid color. It's hard to tell where your snare should be because the grid's all one color. You can't tell when the snare would naturally land. So it's a little difficult. So yeah, this isn't long enough. All right, so like I said, video's called FL Studio Producer uses Ableton. Let's see. I like the hi-hats on it, just not the kick. All right, so the question is, how do we add this to the arrangement view? How do we do this? How does this now translate to the arrangement? Let me put my screen over here. All right, so we're working through this. So far, you guys have learned how to load up your drums. And now the question becomes, how do you like arrange this? Do you just let it play? That's the only thing that I can't comprehend here. So let's insert a MIDI clip. I guess we don't have to do anything because that's kind of weird. It's a weird like mind shift that it just goes and doesn't stop. Yeah, I don't know. I think that could have used some work. I'm probably doing something wrong though. but it's kind of like, what else will we do to control like when it starts and stops? A little weird, a little quirky of little quirky of a workflow. So since that's a little weird, let's loop up 8 bars and record some audio. I have my keyboard and my synth. So let's load up some chords real quick. I'm just gonna play some chords. Let's record. Hit record. And I don't know where to put my camera. I guess over here. Sheesh, this is an experiment. Okay, we're gonna click here, go to your drop down. I like my 2-bar count in. And we're gonna just make sure the metronome's on. There's no ideal place to put your camera either on here. This is, what is Ableton? Okay, so let's add some chords to this. Again, I have no idea what kind of chords. Let's do D minor here. And then D suspended. And I'll show you guys a trick. So we're going to record the audio here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3. Alright, so we have the chords. That was about 16 bars. So I'm still trying to figure out how to arrange that drum rack sequencer thing, because this, what purpose is it if it just repeats for a bar and it's not easy to understand how to make it 2 bars? I don't want to sound like a critic. It's not intuitive how to make this longer. Like, what button would you click to make this longer? So yeah, for that reason, I can't really recommend using this. This is too restrictive for what I'm trying to do. Like, what else? Like, I don't know. Seems kind of pointless. But again, I know I'm using this wrong. Somebody can show me in the comments, but hopefully you guys can understand what I'm saying. Okay, now let's add the bass. Let me turn my mic off so it doesn't feedback. Now they also have auto-tune called auto shift, I believe it's called. So again, you have to go to all and then go to auto shift. That's where I found it. So if you guys are having a hard time finding it, that's how I found it. I didn't find it in the audio effects right away. It didn't pop up in the list. So again, I'm still really trying to figure out what is the point of the rhythmic steps. I guess it's for loopers, because maybe we have to print it to audio. Like, I'm trying to figure out what was the workflow intent of this outside of just looping something. I guess that's why they have a chance. Maybe this is for more like MIDI, where you could trigger a note and then it's like a chance of triggering a pad. That's what it sounds like to me, more like randomness, more than like an FL Studio drum sequence, because this doesn't match that workflow. Again, this 2-bar thing is bothering me. Okay, so it says automatically resyncs all sequences based on the auto trigger rate parameter. If auto retrigger is active, this defines the interval at which the sequence will be resynced. That doesn't help. Okay, so it looks, I don't know. From what I understand, I'm not seeing 2 bars here. It's kind of weird. Maybe because we're at a high tempo. Maybe that's why. I don't know. That's kind of pointless. For what, again, I'm not using it right. So that's my disclaimer. All right. So, I mean, the best thing we could do is use it for hi-hats, if anything, maybe. I don't know. I was more hyped to use that. And now that I'm using it, I'm not hyped anymore about that. All right, so next up, let's do some audio stuff. Let's click here on the audio. We're gonna right click, extract the groove from the piano so that we can match the bass timing with the piano so that they're more lined up. That, especially if you guys have drum breaks and you're making like boom bap, what you could do is extract the groove of the drum break and then apply that to your melody so that everything lines up in that drum break groove, as opposed to just playing wherever. Especially if you guys are using melody loops, you want to make sure the grooves are lining up for your melodies as well as your drums. Most people just slap in random melody loops and it sounds like fake because the groove doesn't match. You know, you have something doing a whole different rhythm. Okay, so let's go to the bass. We're going to double click. Let's go to groove. We're going to go to our, I guess it's called audio, and then let's commit that to the bass. I don't think it did anything. Oh, you know what? Do we have to put this on warp mode? Let's turn this metronome off. So again, I was kind of hype about that sequencer, and it just seems so pointless. Somebody correct me in the chat. I know there's a different way. Now there's more stuff I want to show you guys, so thank goodness there's more to show you. They have a new saturator. Like, where do you put your camera on Ableton? All right, so we're gonna add this. Let's see here. We're on a drum rack. Let's make a MIDI clip here. We're gonna do the good old-fashioned drums. Let's just right-click, insert empty MIDI clip, and we're gonna make this piano roll big, just like we would in FL. And we're gonna draw our drums. Not ideal because everything looks the same, so it's like half impossible to draw drums. I don't want to complain. Let's just hit B so we can get this little draw tool, and we just have to manually kind of go in. Again, there probably is some kind of shortcut, but let's just right click and figure this out. Let's go to 1/8 and add our hi-hats. Oh, also I need to turn off that sequencer because that's pointless. All right, so let's add this in. I'm sure, again, there's a shortcut for this. I don't remember the shortcut. Let's highlight these, hit Control D is duplicate. And let's add those snares in. So let's use the metronome. We're going to count every 3, or I should say 3 in the 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, 3 in the 7 count is going to be our snare. So 1, 2, snare, 4, 5, 6, snare, 8. 1, 2, snare, 4, 5, 6, snare, 8. Typical bounce. Okay, now let's add some kicks. Now the kicks are tresillo, so it's ta, 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 ta. We're gonna add that in. So ta, 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 like that. All right, so So far so good with the drums. That was a lot quicker than using the step sequencer. So what I want to do is run my drums as a whole through a saturator. So we're going to highlight this, hit Control D to duplicate. And now we're going to go to our drum rack and load up a plugin, an audio effect called Saturator. Now they've updated Saturator to look different. Okay, so I don't know how to get that little blue thing they had on the screenshot, but if you click this drop down arrow, you can load up more stuff. So let's get rid of this little rhythmic thing that was pointless. Okay, so now we have the saturator. And I want to turn off the, oh, okay, so when it activates, it turns blue. Okay. Now I guess too, before we start slamming the drums, we need, I think this has a clipper in here. Yeah, let's use the soft clip mode. So let me drive the signal before I start. I'm going to turn my output down about 6 dB because it's going to get loud. That's pretty heavy. All right, let's see what this color curve means. I guess we get EQ. I don't know how to use this thing here. What is this? All right, so this looks like a low shelf, and then this one looks like a precision point. So not a high shelf. I would assume they would give you a high shelf, but I guess not. And what does this mean? Okay, so this is the boost, this is the frequency, and we can make the width bigger. So I guess that could be a high shelf technically. So let's cut the highs. So if we boost the highs, we get more harmonics, I guess, in the area. Because it sounds like harmonics, not just EQ. Not sure if the color curve is pre the saturator or what. I'm not sure what. Again, I don't read manuals. Like everybody does not read manuals, so we don't have time. Let us. This looks not linear. I don't know how to fix. Okay, that's the low amount. Okay. All right, let's go back to our hi-hat. It's a little loud. Turn the volume down. Oh, that's the snare. Whoa. Let's just turn the hi-hat down. Let's try out different clipping modes. Let's try different curvatures here. This definitely makes the kick and the snare feel bigger. We're gonna keep it on soft clip mode. Let's try different curves though. Reset the curves here. The bass shaper, I'm not hearing the sound. Let me crank it more. This is a really unique saturator because it's compressing the sound in a way to where, I don't know, it's hard to describe. Like when that kick hits, it feels like it's just expanding. And then everything becomes linear, and then it pulls it back. It doesn't feel overly crunchy. It still could use some low end though. Let's try different. That one's super aggressive on the mids. Let me turn this drive down. So Seinfeld sounds a little fake. Doesn't really do much, at least the way I'm using it. All right, so this color knob is optional. I didn't realize that's optional. We can turn that off. Wave shaper, we lose a lot of the low end. So far, I like the analog clip and the digital clip. They sound the best. And the soft sine wave. All right, so I like these. Let me use the soft sine. Let's add an EQ. Let's just boost up the lows around like 60 or 75 hertz specifically. Let's just boost this like 2 dB. We're gonna make it a bell curve with the small bandwidth. So it looks like it's more towards 60. Let's boost this a little bit more. Let's make it wider. So now I'm just going to turn up the output, turn down the drive, so we're not just like blowing the computer up. So far, so good. We spend a lot of time just trying to figure out that step sequencer, and it looks like it's a dud, at least for how I would use it. So now we're going to use the vocal. Where is it at? Audio. I mean, what's it called here? Auto shift. So I don't even know what key we're in. I guess D minor. Okay, so I'm a bass. There's a little latency here. So let's do live mode. Okay, so now we're on live mode. So there's less latency. Let's go to root note D and then the scale. I like how they have a lot of scales here. Okay, where's natural minor? Oh, here it is. Minor. Okay, and then we need, what is all this? Minor, pitch shift scale degrees. I don't know what that does. It's interesting though. All right, so now I should sound like I'm in the key of D minor, but I can't tell how fast. Okay, so here's the strength. So the strength is like how fast it's going to retune. And then the smooth is, I guess, like if you turn it up, it makes it less robotic. I feel like this is not the key. This is why I need scalar built into the DAW. Somebody do a deal with scalar too, so we could just have it in the DAW. Does my scalar plugin not load up? Oh man, that's whack. I don't even know what key we're in right now. I don't know keys off the top of my head. We gotta figure this out. Is there a tool I could use on my phone? Let me see. Let's at least figure out the notes, because we might be able to just eyeball it. Okay, so it does give you the notes, which is helpful. Now, can you click the notes? Okay, perfect. So what I'll do is I'll play the notes from my keyboard that match this vibe. It should be D minor. Yeah, it's B flat. So it's all the notes except for B. So that's the key, all the notes except for B. So let's go back to my audio, all the notes except for B, which is D minor. Why does it not sound like I'm in D minor though? Maybe I was just that out of key. Checking out the beat. Okay, so maybe it was just tuning the low end. Okay, I had it on the wrong mode. We needed to tune the high end. Now there is like this weird artifact because it's tuning so fast. So let's up the smooth amount until it sounds normal. So let's see, somewhere around like 60 milliseconds, it starts to sound normal without this like garble. That was the one issue with the Metatune plugin. It just had this weird artifact and it just sounded weird. I couldn't use it.
Now we can also use a format filter like this, and like that, and like this. Yeah, we should do that. That's kind of funny. Let's record that in. And like this. 1, 2. And like this. And like that. It's like this. It's like that. Yeah, it's like this. It's like that. It's like this. It's like that. Alright, so now we got these. Oh, sounds kind of weird. I sound like the guy on the detective show that has the voice changer. But all you have to do is
pitch it back up to know who he is. All right, so anyhow, we got the format. Let's duplicate this track. I haven't used Ableton in so long, I kind of forgot all the shortcuts. Whoa, let me hear myself twice. All right. So, okay.
this, like that. It's like this.
Did it not copy? I know I'm not tripping yet. Oh, I took it off. Duh.
This, like that. It's like this. It's like that. Yeah, it's like this. It's like that. It's like this. It's like that.
So that's really good that Ableton has that built in. That's super helpful for artists. That's going to be a game changer. The auto-tune built right into the DAW, game changer. Now nothing will actually beat Auto-Tune. Auto-Tune is supreme at what it does. It's supreme. It's better than every tool out there. But the fact that you guys have something built in, like FL Studio's Pitcher is nowhere near Auto-Tune, nowhere near this plugin. That's why I can't recommend it with, with this, like, an honest take. All right, so what else can we add to this beat?
It's like this. It's like that. Yeah, it's like this. It's like that. It's like this.
Let's add some weird, like, synths. Let me see if I can come up with a Gunna melody. Let me just add some more sounds in here. Whoa. Okay. Boom, boom. Let's record some more. Check, check, check. From the Prophet 6. All right, I'm going to mute my mic. Let's find some more sounds in here. All right, so what I'll do is I'll see, remember we extracted that groove? There has to be a way to record your camera and not have this in the way. There has to be a way. There has to be a way. I'm gonna start watching Ableton tutorials to see where they put the camera, because there's like no place in Ableton where you just can put a camera. All right, let's turn the audio thing on. I forgot I have Auto-Tune on still, hold up. Where are the Auto-Tune? Let's turn that off. So again, I like the auto shift. All right, what just happened? I don't know what I just did. I don't know what just happened. All right, so I just did something. Hopefully that didn't ruin this entire video. Hopefully we can get this video popping. All right, the video is becoming a whole nuisance. Okay, I'm just gonna be in the middle of the screen. Okay, so now we've done that. Let's roll this audio back to recover the audio. Now I'm gonna double click in this audio. Firstly, I wanna go to the mode here, the warp mode. Let's go to beat, and then we're gonna do forward, backward looping. And let's pull back the amount. Let me see if, okay, so I'm not really hearing that do anything on the transients. Let me see if I lock it to a tempo. I feel like I'm, I don't know if this is doing anything. I can't hear let's add some chorus to this. So again, I'll tell you guys where I get stuck with the Ableton is like I'll have an idea, and then once I'm done the idea, it's like, okay, we're done the idea. My brain doesn't go like, how can we add 30 more things to it? It's just like the idea, once it's done, it's just done. Whereas in FL, I have like, feels like we can add infinitely. See if we can mangle this piano. Let's arrange this a little bit. Let's one thing I want to hear in here is an 808. Let's see if we can add 808. This video is kind of long, so I might do that in a different video. Actually, we're gonna run the saturator over the 808. That'd be a good video. So far, I mean, we got a pretty clean beat. One thing we didn't really get into is the piano roll. Alright, so the beat came out pretty dope. I'll give you guys the project files for free. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio, ironically enough, to get Ableton projects. But that's my first take on Ableton 12.1. Again, some confusions I have are just using that sequencer like in a workflow for trap and hip hop. There's something else that I got kind of caught up in, like the workflow. I forgot what it was. But let me know what you guys want to see in the next video. But I'm going to continue this journey in Ableton because I want to do more loops. And I want to show you guys the power of Ableton's groove extraction. That alone is just superior to everything. All right, guys, it's Game from busyworksbeats.com. Peace. Subscribe.